There's a certain beauty in the simple, everyday moments, those that often go unnoticed in the rush of life. Today, I'm sharing a glimpse into our daily routine where the mundane becomes meaningful. Cooking meals for my family, guiding the kids through their schoolwork, and seeing their creativity come to life through their art. It's in these moments that I find the quiet joy that fills our home. As the weather cools, I'm reminded of my childhood in Taiwan, where street vendors would offer the simplest yet most comforting foods like a steamed sweet potato handed to you warm, wrapped in paper as you walk the streets. There was something so satisfying in its simplicity, a small reminder that joy often comes from the little things. So inspired by those memories, today I'm making a breakfast that blends those traditions with something more familiar, a purple sweet potato oatmeal. It's my take on bobo cha-cha, which is a Southeast Asian dessert mixed with the comforting texture of Western oatmeal. This breakfast not only warms the body, but brings a sense of home and nostalgia with every bite. First, I cut the sweet potatoes in small pieces. We're just going to boil this up in some water. And in the same pot, I have added our oatmeal, and I'm going to continue to stir and cook it. Add some creamy coconut milk in there just to create that beautiful milkiness in a regular oatmeal. While I make oatmeal for breakfast, I'm also multitasking, and I started a pot of rice as well on the left side. Our oatmeal is sweetened with coconut sugar. We've also added a touch of cinnamon just to bring that warmth of fall, and that was our warming bowl of breakfast. After spending some time on office work, I came back to a kitchen that clearly showed signs that the kids had been here. Dirty dishes, open jars of marmalade, and just little footprints of their busy morning. It's one of those moments where the mundane tasks call for a quick tidy up. We definitely try to teach the kids to clean up after themselves, put things away after they're done, but of course, they are kids, so sometimes we gotta help out a little bit. As I clean up, I'm also preparing for my next project, which is making bread for lunch. Now I've already started the dough earlier, and now it's time for the second proof in the loaf pans. There's something so satisfying and grounding about making a simple loaf of bread. I'm brushing our loaf pans with a little bit of oil just to make sure that the bread does not stick as it bakes. The loaf pans that I use are called the USA pans. They've lasted us a long time. They have not warped in shape. They make sure that the bread bakes evenly. It's one of the best pans that I've ever used for bread baking. So if you want the link to these bread pans, I will have them in the description, of course, so you can check them out. Today, I'm sort of free-forming these loaves and just shaping them as best as possible with my hands. There is something, of course, as you may know, so satisfying about working with the dough, feeling its texture as it comes together under your hands. This kind of baking is more intuitive, letting the dough take its own shape. I really love baking this way, so we have the loaves proofing in the oven with the oven off, just a light on, and I am going to help Israel with his schoolwork. As the kids get older, Israel is our second oldest. They have a little bit more work. I'm kind of pushing them a little bit more, and so some of the times they will need some extra help. While I'm helping the kids with their schoolwork, I am also starting on Trey's dinner. It's a bit of a juggling act, but multitasking is just part of the flow in our home. Between guiding the kids through their lessons and prepping dinner, there's always something to do, but it all works together. So for his dinner, I am making a pot of greens. So I've got some onions, some peppers, a little bit of garlic, and one sliced tomato. I have seasoned it with some ancho chili powder, some smoked paprika, onion powder, and a little bit of chili flakes just to add a little bit of that spiciness. I have not made collard greens in a while now, but I decided to implement this recipe back this week. I chopped some greens. I even added some potatoes in here just to bulk it up for a full meal. As you can see, while I am cooking in the background, Isaiah is working on his reading, and sometimes I will have the older ones help with the little kids. So I've tasked Israel today to kind of help Isaiah with his reading. The bread has doubled in size. It's time to put the bread into our ovens to bake. I am now starting on dinner for our kiddos, so I decided to make something warming just to continue to welcome that fall weather. It's been so nice and cool outside. I'm gonna make a very simple miso soup. I've got some cabbage, onions in here, garlic, some miso paste, and I'm gonna crumble up a block of tofu. I planned on pairing the soup with our rice for dinner tonight, so I am just going to cook this until it boils. Once it's boiled, it is ready for dinner, and I don't have to worry about what to cook for dinner. It's already made. Next on my cooking list, I am making some lunch for Trey. On a parchment-lined cookie sheet, I am going to chop up some broccoli, and we're going to roast that up really quick. On the side, I'm also going to chop up some cabbage, and we're going to make some sauteed cabbage for lunch as well. Our 2 loaves of sandwich bread is ready and baked. I like to brush the tops with a little bit of oil just to kind of soften it up, and it adds that glisten on the top. It's lovely. Let's season up our broccoli with some smoked paprika, some oil, some salt. I also added some onions in here. You can use onion powder, garlic powder, and that's gonna go in the oven. For a high protein packed sauce, I like to make this daily. So I've got some hemp seeds going into my measuring cup. I've also got some chopped parsley, a couple of cloves of garlic. They were pretty small, some water, some lime juice, salt, and I'm just gonna blend it up. This sauce is going to go over Trey's lunch later on, but it is nice and prepped now, and on to getting our bread out of our loaves to cool. We want to make sure that the bread loaves cool completely before we slice them up. Initially, I wanted to make some sandwiches for lunch, but the kids decided they wanted some peanut butter and jellies. Israel suggested that we just had some peanut butter and jelly, so I obliged. So that's what we're having for lunches. Easy, quick, and very simple. To cut these loaves of bread, I am using a serrated knife. Now, I've seen some videos of some electric bread cutters, or bread knives, if you will, and they work so beautifully. So I'm so intrigued. I'm gonna save up and I'm gonna purchase one just to see what it's like to cut with them. Let us know in the comments if you use an electric bread knife. I would love to know how it's working for you, or if you continue to use a serrated knife. Mercy was working on some art projects today, and Israel really wanted to show you and showcase her beautiful artwork on screen. So this is what she created. It is perfect for fall. I am going to frame them. I think they're going to be beautiful artwork and decoration in our home. As you can see, Isaiah has already helped himself to a slice of bread with some strawberry jam. I'm gonna continue to make some peanut butter jellies for anyone that needed them. We don't often eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but when we do, it is so nostalgic. Like, for me specifically, I just love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It just reminds me of childhood. I didn't really grow up eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but when I did, it was just one of those treats that, oh wow, all these Western kids are so known for eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I don't know, it's just a childhood sort of memory or childhood thought that I always had. Now Trey, my husband's lunch, is ready to be plated or bowled. I have my cabbage here, just some sauteed cabbage. I'm also going to add our roasted broccoli on the top, and then I'm just going to top it and mix it with that sauce. If you've watched this for some time, you know that Trey normally has a salad, a huge big old salad for lunch today, but I decided to make him something different today because he always has a salad. So that's why I opted for some sauteed cabbage today, and still the same sauce, still some roasted vegetables, just for that added texture, a different type of texture. I don't want to bore him with the same salad every day. Now I've incorporated some zucchini noodles or just zoodles as well. So whenever I can, I change it up a little bit. A few hours have passed and it's time for dinner. So this is what the kids had. We just had some brown rice, and on the top of it, we are going to fill the bowl up with our soup. I grew up watching my mom eating rice and soup. It is a very humble dish, a very satisfying and warming dish. As you pour over this lovely soup on the rice kind of absorbs that soup and it just gets all the flavors in there. It is so good. I like to carry on and teach the kids about these traditions, not really traditions, but just a reminder that this is how we grew up as kids. My mom grew up very humble, and so all of her food was humble and still very satisfying. When I make food like this, I miss her very much. Last but not least, this was for dinner for Trey. We thank you so much for watching this video. We hope that you enjoyed spending time with us, and we will see you on the next video. Bye everybody.